Welcome to Capital Talk, a program we hope will have an impact on the future of Kenya. And now more than ever, I'm Jeff Koinange. Now, if you've been watching Capital Talk all this week, you know we are talking to the women of radio. Young, ambitious, smart, beautiful, just like my guest today. And you've been sending in your text messages, everybody wanting this one guest on this show. We have her for you today. And guess what? As big as she is in today's radio world, it wasn't always that easy. She has done it all, from messaging to hostess in a restaurant, working in a bank, until she was riding in a matatu one day and heard that Capital was looking for presenters. She walked in, and the rest, as they say, is history. She is now, no doubt, the queen of radio. Kiss FM has become the #1 show, network radio station in the country and the region. And she's not stopping there. As soon as she takes off that Kiss hat, she puts on a marketing hat, a programs controller hat, a whole bunch of hats. She does it all. In other words, she has no life, but she is #1. My guest today, she's smiling already. None other than Caroline Mutoko.
Hey.
My goodness. You work harder than like 3-4 guys put together.
I don't know. I work in a place where people work hard. Yes, I do.
Really?
Yeah.
But Carol, I tell you, man, people think that you've gotten there and you're up there, big star, and it's so easy doing what you're doing, but it wasn't always that easy, yeah?
It's never is. Never is. I mean, when you get up at 4 a.m, that's not easy. And you know what? Like with everything else, you learn your boundaries, you figure where it is you want to go. And when you're young, you can be a little silly. Sometimes you lose track. And then, life kind of sorts you out. Yeah.
Clearly, you didn't study. You studied what? Economics?
Yes.
And worked in a bank. So walking into Capital was like what? Were you just saying, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't kind of thing?
It was a nothing. It's just that a lot of people don't know this. But back in the day, on top of Green Corner was a place called Creative Audio and Visual. And Bruce Odhiambo used to run that. And I used to do a show on KBC. Yes, for Unga. I used to read a recipe. And I'm sure Unga is sitting there and they remember this. I used to read a recipe, then would play a song, then I'll come back and tell you how to mix ingredients, then we'll play another song. And back in the day it was on reel to reel. Yes, and I had to make sure.
Splice.
Yeah. How do you know that?
I did that.
Okay. And I had to make sure I didn't make mistakes. So I'd done a few of those, and when I thought, okay, there's a new radio station, let me see whether they'll take me. And I called, and I said, I hear you could do it, some people. Then I hung up and went to the bathroom. Phone rings while I'm in the shower. My mother picks it up, says, did you call somebody? I'm like, yeah. So I pick up the phone, and Phil is on the phone, and he says, can you come in? And I went in the next day, and John Wilkins put me in a studio and gave me 2 scripts. One was a sports story, another was a news story. I read them, and then he said, okay, what are you doing tomorrow?
You're lying.
No, and then I went in the next day, and John at the time used to do a show between 1 and 4, and I used to do traffic on his show. I used to go in and go, Mombasa Road busy but moving.
Those were your lines.
Those were my lines, and I'd leave after that.
Yeah.
But because the station was starting up, I would input music into RCS. It is the most boring, thankless job in the world. And back in the day, Capital had a database of 2,500 songs. And you code the music.
Right.
It's female. It's fast to slow. It is 3 beats per hour. And that was my job. That way, when the machine schedules the music, it knows where to pick it from. Just in case you're wondering how the music happens.
Correct.
Some idiot does that job. And that was me.
That was you.
That was me.
When did you get your own show?
2 years later. I used to do a magazine show. I used to do a motoring show and a travel show. And it was like 5 minutes in the morning.
Okay.
And I'd go in and read it and then leave. And I cried on my first week because Nicola Miawa didn't open my microphone. I know. I have like 5 minutes of fame. Open my mic. Open my mic.
It was dead air.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. And I did that, and then I got a show. In fact, Phil used to not do the countdown hour between 9 and 10. He made me sit in the studio and hit play. And then put in a station drop and hit play.
Yeah.
And I did that for an hour, and when he felt that I knew what I was doing, then he said, and now you can introduce the songs. Yay!
Phil and John Wilkins, right? They deserve a lot of credit in this business, right? Because 10, 12 years ago when you guys were starting, they molded that first generation
They
of presenters.
created the method.
Yes.
And there's a method to the madness, as Phil likes to say. A lot of people kind of think you wing it and you get in and you do what you bloody well please. No. There's a method to the madness. There's a system, and that's what they gave us. The method. Yeah.
So then Phil and John leave, and what happens?
Well, when Phil was leaving, at the same time, Joe Tunis left. And being 25 is so good because you're so full of yourself. And I went and I said, I want a prime show. Give me breakfast or drive. I think Linda wanted to pat me on the head and say, there.
Calm down.
Calm down. But they said, no, you're fine where you are. And I was thinking, no, I want more. And, well, you know, they hired Neil McLeod, Dusty Rhodes, and Dinky Doo, what was his name? Alex Belfield. What really got me at the time is that I listened to Alex and I thought, but you're not great. I'm better than you. Yeah? And then, just when you give up, and sometimes things happen when you give up, an ad appeared in The Nation. It said, are you better than Phil or Caroline Mutoko? I wrote into Kiprono Kitonyi and I said, you're not going to find better. And, you know, they met me, and I will never forget my interview. Not just with Kiprono, but when I finally met William Pike and Patrick Kwaku, they said, so what show do you want to do? I said, breakfast. They said, okay.
Okay, what?
Yeah, I know. Even you're sitting there thinking, that's it?
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
I know. And then they asked me about pay, and I doubled what I was earning, and they said, okay.
You should have tripled.
I know. Anyway, they sorted me out 6 months later.
Okay.
They thought, the silly girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Wow.
and at the time, Patrick and William and Kiprono, they were so confident we're going to #1, and it was Patrick's selling line. We're going to #1 in 6 months. Obviously, I never thought it couldn't be done, so I guess we did it.
And you, obviously
We
you
did it. Yeah, we did.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Vision, huh?
I know. It's cool.
Sure. So you're on the morning, and clearly everything is falling in place, right?
Yeah.
And your show, everybody's listening to your show.
Okay.
Traffic everywhere.
All right.
They're laughing when you crack a joke, when you call someone and you hang up on them because you're pissed off or they're not making sense.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I'm busy. I'm busy.
Yeah.
Get on with it.
Yeah. But some people thought you were a little aggressive, Caroline, at times, or arrogant at times. But you were no business. I mean,
I was just, it was business as usual. In retrospect, you think back and you think, good Lord, was that me? No, don't worry. I shock me sometimes. If that wasn't me, I'd hate me too. Don't you worry. But no, I just figured I'm supposed to do something. Let's do it. I didn't realize a lot of people didn't take it that well, didn't get where I was coming from. And then I also got to a point where I stopped apologizing. What for? What for?
Yeah.
Look, let's get the job done. Let's get the answers we need, and then let's go on. Really, honestly.
and they learn to respect that.
Yeah, but like everything that is different, people take a while.
Yeah.
It doesn't, you know, it's a bit strange. Who does she think she is? Caroline Mutoko.
Yeah. CM.
You know?
Oh my goodness. What's the worst thing that ever happened to you in the morning?
I burst a tire on my way to work. And you know what time I go to work?
Yeah, early.
5. And on Raptor Road, of course, naturally, gunning it at 100.
At 5 to 5.
No, I mean, I should be in by 6.
Okay.
But this was like one of those mornings, you know, one of those mornings you wake up late, you can't get dressed on time, and then this happens. And it was that thing of wondering, do I come out of the car? At 5 in the morning. And I had pulled over to the side of Raptor Road near a place called Liza Apartments, and all the watchies came out and said, Kara, kuno baya tutakuchenjia. And well, I figured it would get sorted. I called a cab, went to the office. That was awful. I've never been late for work. But that was also scary. For the first time, I realized, whoa, driving yourself to work at 5 in the morning isn't funny. In the work situation, I think it's the everyday stuff, you know. Software drives you crazy, interviews disappear because power surges, you know, virus eats it. But really, I love what I do. Even on the worst days, I love what I do. Even in January when I lost it and I cried on air, I still love what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a tough time.
It was hard for all of us, but for me, I think I didn't understand what I was seeing. I did not, I was like, where is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just couldn't recognize your own country, right? Absolutely. Look at this. 9 months later, we've pulled through, huh?
Aren't we fabulous?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You know, I remember telling Zayn, and I said this on CNN,
I remember that.
I said, do not give up on us.
Yeah.
I was right. We're fabulous.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I just hope we're not schizophrenic in
Yeah,
that.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're great now and then we'll be
Correct,
crazy again.
correct.
But I also think we kind of know our boundaries now. We know what line not to cross. Yeah. I know what line not to cross. And for me, there's been learnings. I don't believe I'll be on air by the next elections, but I also learned that there's a whole different way we as media approach how we do this stuff, how we talk to the candidates, how we report the news before the actual elections, how we handle the returns. Yeah, there's been so many learnings, so many.
Yeah, lots of lessons to learn. And also, how important people like you are. I mean, you have a huge following, 7, 8, 10, whatever it is, whatever that number is. People don't just listen to you because of entertainment value. They listen to you because they trust you. We need to learn that in our business.
Yeah.
Your word is law.
You're vested with people's issues, and you'll know, and it's so strange. It's their birthday, they vest you with that. Call my mom.
Yeah.
And then they trust you with the information you give. If you say, don't go on Mombasa Road, there's a traffic jam, they believe you. And it goes a step further. When a client gives you something to sell, they do it because the audience believes you. So if you say, go buy 1, 2, 3, yes. And then it goes a notch higher. And when something like what happened in January happens, it's no joke.
Yeah.
They're trusting you to tell them what they need to know, how they need to know it. Scary.
Very.
Nobody trained me for that, by the way.
You see that? It's on the job.
Yeah, I wish I had some training for that, though. Whoa.
You just mentioned a moment ago, Caroline, that you don't plan to be on air by the next election. I kind of missed that, but I caught it again.
You're funny. Oh, gosh. I have 3 very good reasons for wanting to get off air. And I'll work them backwards.
Okay.
Least important, I'm tired. I wake up at 4 in the morning and Jeff, 4 a.m. is a killer. I'm not going to... It's a killer.
Yeah.
It's a killer. I'm not going to kid you. I was on leave in early August. And I remember, taking 7 days off. For 4 days, I slept. Then for the other 3 days, I came back to town. I did a few things. Then I got up one morning, 5, went to the gym 6, was in the office at 7. Worked a full day, and that was the only day I was not on air. Worked a full day, kind of left the office at about 6. And then went home and thought, what do people do when they get home at this time? Because I've never seen my house at this time. and 2 days later, I did it again, and I realized it's 4 a.m. That's the killer. Yeah. I am tired. My other reason for wanting to get off air is that the world moves on a conveyor belt of Ever heard of
Mm-mm.
It's ER.
Go on.
Let's start with beauty. Body lotions always promise you firmer, softer, smoother skin. Technology is going to have to get better, quicker, smarter, faster. The same's going to happen in our business. There's going to be someone better, sassier, naughtier, louder, if that's possible,
Sexier
than me. I believe it's there.
Wow.
8 years on, I would love to believe that there's a chance to re-energize this brand, and I hope it will come from that person who will take over from me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not many people talk like that, Caroline. I want to talk more about that too after the break, but the fact that you don't feel threatened in your business because you have a legacy to leave or whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. I want to talk about your other hats. You wear so many hats. It's incredible the kind of stuff that you do on any given day.
Okay.
Future of Radio in Kenya, but first we'll take a break. My guest today, my goodness, only 34 years old, speaking like someone who's been in this business forever. Unbelievable. What'd you call it? What?
That force of
The force of she says. Better, bigger, brighter, you name it. That's exactly what she is. What a week we are having on Capital Talk. This is where it all happens. You can't get it anywhere else. Keep it tuned right here on K24. And we are back in a moment. Welcome back to Capital Talk. My goodness, if you missed the first half, you better watch the repeat. Caroline Mutoko is on the bench, and she is waxing lyrical about the job, the business, the industry, and the future. Caroline, so I love this the force of that's great.
That's reason number 2.
Reason number 1.
Reason number 1.
Why you want to leave radio?
I want to have babies.
Hello, look at that.
Twins, but I want to have babies. I do, and I think I've done my time.
Yeah.
I want to be able to go through my pregnancy feeling great, and if I've got a crap pregnancy, let me not put it on air, okay? And also, It has always been my dream, and this is so weird, that if I had children, I'd have enough time to spend with them. Now, given what I was doing for the last 8 years, you'd be lucky if you could catch me for a drink, you know?
Absolutely.
No, really.
Yeah.
So I want to enjoy it, and I've earned my stripes.
Wow.
I know I have. I want to scale down.
Okay, it begs the question then, is there a man in your life to provide these twins?
Do you have time for another show?
That's a whole other show.
That's a whole other show. That's a whole other show. But at the end of the day, I want a partner in crime. Yeah. Not a person you can be naughty with, great with. Yeah.
Your best friend.
Yay!
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good though. And you obviously you didn't plan this, but at 34 and you've done everything you've done, that's the next obvious step, right?
Yeah.
Little ones.
Little ones.
Yeah. I waited till I was 40.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
40.
But the sad thing is a lot of people don't understand. You just don't get up and have children. Yes. You must be in a state of mind to do it. And I am.
And provide and not have to worry about that next meal.
Yeah.
School.
And not everybody's that fortunate, but I am. And if I can do it right, and hope I can, and God will bless me with them, because it's a blessing. I plan to adopt as well, but that's another show.
She's coming back twice more.
No. But yeah, I'd love to do this. Now I want to do this.
Now you do, huh?
Now I want to do this other thing.
We're going to have to look out to see if there's any changes.
And let me tell you, I've seen my mother pregnant. Yeah. I'm going to look like I'm about to give birth to a house with a pool and a tennis court. I already know.
Your mother's listening.
Yeah.
Okay, so fine. 3 reasons why you want to leave radio, right?
Yeah.
But you wear other hats at KISS.
At KISS, yeah.
And which include?
Oh God, I'm PC, KISS 100. I handle our SMP, and our SMP is a huge part of our business. Oh, sorry, jargon. Sponsorships and promotions.
Oh, thank you.
Sponsorships and promotions. There was a time it accounted for probably 40% of our business. Right now, it's about 70. It's a huge undertaking.
Yeah.
And you must understand this about our business. When people book advertising, that's an unemotional buy. They kind of rationalize it, put together their time orders, and kind of send the money.
Right.
When they were asking our presenters to endorse products, that's an emotional investment. And that side of our business needs to be handled with kid gloves, but also almost with a telescope. What are you doing? Did we do the right tagline? And that takes up brain space. You should see me at 4. It's like somebody squeezing on my head because I'm like, one more problem, one more bad brief, and someone.
Or if someone mispronounces
a brand name.
Yes,
I don't need the drama.
Right.
So that occupies a good chunk of my day, but I'm getting help. Okay. And then, of course, is just marketing. And in itself is huge because our industry is fragmenting so fast. Visibility is so paramount. And that's what I want to do. Because it's no secret that little place on the 3rd floor of Lion Place is exploding.
Literally.
It's KISS, it's classic, it's East.
Yeah. X.
I know.
Etc.
I've already told management and the board, that's my job. It's called Group Marketing Manager.
Ooh, Patrick Kwaku, I hope you're listening.
No, he knows. I think I'll print the cards if they don't give me the job. Exactly. I'll say, it's me.
Yeah. And you're still writing that weekly column on Narrow Star.
And by the way, I'm already late. I'm already late. Yeah, and I've got that as well. And initially you don't realize how much it takes to write a page. I wish they would just tell me, all you're going to get from now on is 300 words, woman.
Right.
Put it together. But no, I have a page.
But you enjoy it, don't you?
I do. I'm an idiot like that. I love every minute. And on the weekend I'm whining, I'm tired. Yeah.
But someone else told me this, and I was very surprised, and pleasantly so. They said, Caroline Mutoko is a huge, huge Harambee Stars fan.
I am, but not for the reasons you think.
Oh, yeah, you don't miss a game.
I don't miss a game, but you know, when we went through our madness in the beginning of the year, we sat down and started looking for things that bring people together. And let me tell you something, I'll take you to a game. I can take you to a game. And
Please.
Everybody can think that, you know, we're naughty. But here's the thing,
Yes.
for 90 minutes, nothing else matters. There is no feeling like being in a stadium, and especially when you're all rooting for the same team. And I was looking for some glue to put us back together, because we had been splintered into so many ways. It wasn't just ethnically, but we'd also broken up by social class. We'd broken up in so many ways, and we were looking for something. So yes, I'm a huge Harambee Stars fan, and they are the best. And totally, you should see them. They're a bit dazed right now. Why do you all like us?
Yeah,
We don't know. All of a sudden, yeah. And I will be seeing them. I think they're going to camp very soon. I am a geek. Now I don't even know when they're going into camp.
And you know the names.
I know the names.
Not just Dennis Olier. Sure.
Isn't that pathetic? We need to learn a few more names.
Yes.
But you can tell they're always so kind of happy to see you, but wondering why.
Yeah.
And I guess we have to tell them, because you are our team, and I guess that's been missing for a while.
Yeah.
You're our team, win or lose, win or lose.
And can Harambee Stars be the glue? Because you said we were looking for some glue to bring us all back.
Yeah.
Can they, and can this country come back together again
It can.
for the long run?
Hell yeah. And if you don't get it together, I'll take over. And then I'll whip you all into shape. No, but we're a great people, Jeff.
Yeah.
We are. And it's not just the Harambee Stars. And you must remember, very few of our players are international players. But it's also the local league. It gives you something to be proud about. And hey, I think we had lost what we were about. And then we had the Olympics. And then we were excited.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we have our footballers. And once again, we count as a people.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine the very section of the country that had the most pain in January and February made us raise our heads again?
Incredible.
In Beijing on that final night when they played our anthem, can anybody remember those grisly pictures that were on the international media in January?
It was the flag.
It was!
I'm getting goosebumps.
I know!
I'm getting goosebumps right now.
That's so cool.
Incredible. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So there is glue, and we can come back together. I just don't know how we learn to be obnoxiously patriotic, like Nigerians. Have you ever met Nigerians?
I lived there 5 years, Caroline.
They're obnoxiously patriotic. They love being Nigerian.
And the worse their country is, the more patriotic they are.
I know. I've never understood that. It's them. It's the Ghanaians. It's the Americans. Now they're just queasy.
It's incredible.
I would love to teach Kenyans to love Kenya.
To love it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Really, very profound and well said. There's no way I can let you go, Caroline, without asking you about the famous Martha incident.
Oh gosh. Now here's the worst thing about all that.
Yes.
Why am I rooting for her like crazy these days?
I do not understand.
I'm so into her.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's go back to the incident. Gosh, it's hard to be young and stupid and have a motor mouth. And that's all I can say.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when I was driving, I was thinking, Jeff is going to ask me, because everybody asks me. And then I was like, I should have called Githum Wiga to find out where we are. I don't know where we are legally.
Right.
Okay? I do know this. I never meant to hurt her. I've said it 100 times. She's such a trailblazer. You can't but love her sometimes or love to hate her. And here's the strange thing. Do you know God has a sense of humor and it's warped? Last Thursday, I was looking at the Nairobi Stand. There was a story on Martha, as usual, going off on someone or other. This time it was Kibaki. And I kept looking at the picture and thinking, does that woman wear the same watch I do? I am telling you, and she's got to let me know. But if she's wearing a Rado, I want to tell her, me too.
We're together.
Me too. I couldn't believe it. So yeah, I don't know where we are legally on that.
Right.
I do know I never meant to hurt her. And God, it's awful to be young with a motor mouth and a microphone. And that's it. You live and learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're rooting for her now, you said, huh?
I'll tell you why. Where I am today is because there are women like Charity Ngilu, Wangare Maathai, who went through the madness so that we could access bank loans, get jobs, you know, we could command ridiculous audiences in the morning.
Imagine that.
Because they made it possible. Now, I'm watching Martha, and remember, there is no template for what she's doing. There is no manual for wanting to be president in Kenya as a woman. Charity tried it. I'm not going to talk about some of the other people who ran because that was just crazy. But what she's doing today, and if she doesn't get into State House, means that when I run in 10 years, I'm going.
Oh, hello.
She's so my chase car.
And the twins will be 10 by then.
But no. No, so, you know,
Yes.
I know some people get really irritated when I start rooting for her, but I've begun to understand. I am so old. I think about things twice now. I began to understand that you've got to let her.
Yeah.
Gotta let her. Because she has no manual. But everything she does will be a lesson for me and for everybody else. So I'm telling you, she's like the one who goes through the jungle and cuts up the tree so you can all walk through. So let her.
In the same way, Caroline, you're very much the same in your business, because everybody I talked to on this bench in the last couple of weeks, from Mina Kageni to Shanice to Eve,
I miss Shanice.
Quach,
Oh.
everybody says Caroline paved the way for them.
Really?
Yes.
Love you.
Honestly, this has got to be something about you and what you've done in those dozen years.
But also the women who came before me who made me realize it could be done. Have you ever interviewed Linda Holt?
No.
You've got to get her on this bench.
Okay.
You really do.
Okay.
And watch out for the hand because her fringe will keep flicking. Okay? But
Yes.
when you meet the Lindas of this world, they make you understand that it's not impossible. It's tough, but it's not impossible. So there are women who went before me who gave me the impression it can be done. I have gone before every 18-year-old. Dear God, I'm old. And they have no excuse. And I say this when I speak to young girls in high schools and in colleges. You have no excuse not to. There are women who went before you. There's me. What's holding you back?
You have no excuse.
None.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
By the time I'm running for State House, who's going to print pictures of me looking funny? They're all going to put crown on my head. Martha already paved the way and Charity did the same. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's great. Forward thinking. Is there another Caroline in the works, or is it going to take a while?
Okay, let me tell you this, because I know my managers will advertise my job, okay? Stop trying to be Caroline. The board has got one Caroline. They don't need another. Ask them. My managers can only deal with one Caroline. They're looking for better than Caroline. They don't want another Caroline. The worst thing is every time we receive applications as I can be the next Caroline. I can be just like Caroline. Nobody wants another me. This planet can only handle one me. I'm telling you. And I'm no really. So different,
Yeah.
better,
Yeah.
sassier,
Force of her.
you know,
I love it.
the whole works. But don't be me. Don't use that as your selling platform. Nobody in that building wants another Caroline. Trust me.
Spoken like a true queen of radio. Well done.
Thank
Fantastic.
you. Thank you.
Good luck.
And thanks for not mentioning the jeans.
Love the jeans.
Okay.
Love the jeans. My guest today, I tell you, what a week it's been on Capital Talk. Caroline Mutoko, the queen of radio, says there's only one of her. Don't try and be her. You can be you, and even better, she says. That is the future of this country. None of us are going to be here forever. Someone else would take over the bench. Someone else would take over from Caroline. But you have to prove it, because we, the Carolines of this world, they've proved to be where they are. And that's why they are number one. What a show. What a guest. What a week. And you can only get that kind of information, these kinds of guests, right here on Capital Talk, only on the award-winning station K24, where we are all Kenyan.
Can I say it?
Please do.
All the time.